Uh, December is here. We actually had snow flurries yesterday. It was like just a little bit of a tease. So I'm like, yes, it's really here.
We haven't had them yet. We've had the cold temperature, it was 19 overnight, but no snow flurries yet.
Yeah, I forgot to bring in, I've got shamrocks that are in one of our windowsills. I forgot to bring those like away, and they're all very droopy. So I'm gonna have to
Mm,
rebuild those. We'll see
yeah.
if we can. Okay, so December, we are finishing up our calendar for the year. This is the postcard template that I haven't done before, but I was like sorting through some of my old photo cards, greeting cards that we've received over the years and found one that fit just right. So I kind of tore that and did my little stamp around the edge and just went very simple with one verse from Luke.
Hmm.
Um, that was enough. Have you done a postcard yet?
No, I haven't ever done one.
There's a
Yeah.
couple of them that I put in the Christmas journal and left some that they just have holly around the edges and big enough. I think in the space, if you have a family photo or a Christmas card, you can put it in there and then do scripture writing around it.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll look at
And then I always have on my calendar the ABC. So if anybody is finishing that up, we had 5 Mondays in December. So you'd finish up with V, W, X, Y, and Z, and then round it up home. And my V just happens to be Christmas related because probably I was working on it during that season. So did V is for the virgin birth
that.
and had a little stamp here just to give that little nativity scene and did scriptures around it. And this blue, it's washi tape that I found a long time ago and just cut strips so that that little moon would show up and then just used it all the way down. So the washi tape is just so handy.
Yes, it is.
And then I did W is for Word and had this cute little typewriter that's like a sticker thing. And X, X is kind of tough, but I did Exalt, Exodus, and then King Xerxes about
Mm.
Esther being made queen, and then incorporated a playing card of a queen on there. Probably at the time I was trying to fill some space.
That's a cute idea, though.
And then Y, it was just a combination of Yahweh, yearning, your word, yoke. And this is actually not my page. It was my friend that designed the Y. She shared that with me. And then Z, again, a combo of zealous, Zechariah, zeal, another zealous on there. And then at the very back of mine, I put in this ABC prayers for students, which is like A to Z. And that's just kind of a fun way to wrap it up, A to Z. So, and then I don't know if I've ever shown this on the back.
No.
I think this was inspired. It got a little grubby over time, and I had some ABC washi tape, and so I just used that and just made it very colorful on the backside. And so far,
Yeah, I like that.
it's not peeling off, so it makes for a very colorful um, background on it. And then we're going to be into 2026, and I would show you samples, but all I have done the last session that I had here, I got out my little gold gel markers and filled in the 2026 and just did some doodads. So this can be used, oh, here we go. This can be used for if you're doing a word for the year. Are you doing one or phrase?
I haven't. No, I usually do. I haven't picked yet next year's yet. Yeah,
Okay.
I do one every year.
I haven't either. So it'll either come to me or I'll just use the space to do scriptures that I'll pray for over the family. Hello,
Yeah.
Liz.
Hi, sorry I'm late. I was talking to my
Welcome.
sister-in-law on the phone. I'm like, oh, I gotta go. It's 11 o'clock. I'm late for a meeting.
Yay, you made it. Yeah.
I did. I made it. Sorry I'm late.
Yeah. Well, we were just flipping through the ABC journal and the calendar, and we're open to discuss whatever is going on. I have a spare heart sticker. I'm not sure where that came from. Or is there anything in particular you're working on?
No, I just need to find some motivation to get. I'm just afraid I'm going to mess it up.
Okay. Deb, what do you tell her?
Don't worry about it. It's your handwriting. It's something special that'll be forever. I mess up. My sister, I gave her one maybe 2 years ago, and it took her forever to get started. She would write practice. She would do practice pages, but not put it in the actual book. And I
Uh-huh.
said, quit doing that. Quit doing that. Just do it in the book.
Right.
My first ones are not good, but just do it. Just
Yeah.
do it.
I did
Just get
get a
started.
like my little ABC, my little cards. I do have a whole bunch of stuff written on each of the letters. Now I
Yeah.
just need to go to the book.
Okay, a
Yeah,
couple
just
of tips because yeah, a lot of women, kids don't have this issue. They just dive right in. But women, we just kind of set up some barriers for ourselves. So you can flip to maybe an interior page of your journal.
Oh, it's not the
So
front
you
one?
don't have
Yeah.
the front one. Um, Washi tape. You can always use that to cover up like little if you've got just like a penmanship error or a misspelling, or you're listening to a podcast and you write whatever word you're hearing instead of whatever you're reading.
Uh-huh.
I use whiteout. So you can cover up with whiteout, stickers, washi tape,
Okay.
and a tip if you're doing the washi tape, I will use the same washi tape somewhere else on the page so it looks intentional.
Oh, sure. That's a good idea. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I
You
like
can always
that.
use use scrapbook paper to cover if it's a large area that you kind of mess up or you just don't like the way it looks at all. Cut a
Uh-huh.
piece of scrapbook paper to cover it, or use a post-it note, and you can rewrite it then. Yeah, there's all kinds of things you can do, but just get started. You will love it.
Yes, yes.
Just
Okay. I have a
yeah.
question about your washi tape. Speaking
Okay.
of washi tape,
Yeah.
I know you've got a lot of it. I
Mhm.
don't have nearly that much, but I'd like to get some seasonal ones. Do you order online, Hobby Lobby, Mike, all the things? Just get it from, okay,
All the things.
okay,
With the caveat that all washi tape is not created equally.
equal, right?
So the quality varies. Sometimes the things that are on sale are maybe not high quality, but they're still cute and they can serve the purpose. So if you get some that doesn't stick really well and you know
Uh-huh.
exactly where you want it on the page, you can just swipe the back of it with a glue stick
Yeah.
and it'll stay down. And it'll stay down there forever, which is why I said make
Mm-hmm.
sure you
Yeah.
know where you want it. Um, Glitter washi tape is also however they make it, and maybe it's because it just doesn't adhere well whenever it's wrapped around itself. Again, I often you can see how it's already coming apart,
Yeah.
unrolling on itself. I'll just use a little swipe of a glue stick and hold that in
Okay.
place.
Okay.
Online, I'm going to say the brand Allie Drew, and I think it's all one word. That has been
Okay.
fairly consistent.
Okay.
Any other washi
No.
tape sources that you guys have been really pleased with? Hello, Chris.
I know I got some
Hi.
that's
All right.
old and it's like dried. So when you go to pull it off, it rips. I mean, it doesn't come off in a nice straight
Right.
line.
I think it does dry out over time.
I think so too.
I used to have a container back here on my desk, and I've tried to block it. You can see how much sunlight comes in. I think it does to help it deteriorate faster. So
Mm-hmm.
I've learned to, have it further into the room and away from that. And heat sources might also dry it out. And I think they just don't make it to last forever either. So
Right.
um there are a few, I mean, because I've been doing this, I'm coming up like on 10 years, which is kind of hard to believe. started this whole thing at my devotional time in January of 2016. So when January
Wow.
26 comes, it really is, it's coming up on 10 years. So that initial, that original journal, when I look back through it, any of the washi tape, maybe that had like a clear background, it's yellowing a little bit, but otherwise it's got some good longevity to it, for not like
Okay.
searching like it's acid archival, quality. So
Right.
I would
Right.
say use it, enjoy the process of it, and if you have any issues along the way, you can always cover it up with another strip of washi down the road. Or like I said, if it's about the adhesive quality of it, just use a little glue stick underneath it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay. Thanks.
Deb or Chris, are there any particular places that you have found that's pretty consistent, or even like an online brand?
I use Hobby Lobby most of the time for my washi tape. That's where I
Hmm.
get it, and it comes in packs, so you can get the seasonal packs, and I
Right.
like
Right.
those, and color combos that go together well. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I would say that's my most common. I did when I started using washi tape, I kind of went excessive. So I
As many
probably
of us
have
do.
a lifetime supply until it dries out. um, and I did do some online, but I don't remember where. I kind of stopped doing that when I started realizing I was getting duplicate and didn't
Right.
realize it was duplicating. But
Hmm.
I too did some of the packs or individual. Um, the one thing with some of the packs, Hobby Lobby, sometimes it has really wide tape in that I don't really use.
Hmm.
I
So I try
Did
to
you know
get,
you can cut that
Hmm.
if you want to make it
well,
thinner?
that would be true.
The only reason I say that is I did that once. I had some really wide stuff and it didn't fit where I wanted to put it.
Mhm.
And I thought, why can't I cut this?
Because you
You
can.
can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless it's like a pattern that,
Right.
Yeah,
would,
Right.
cutting the
uh,
head off of
yeah.
something. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. And if you're concerned about getting it really straight, then you just tear it and then it looks whimsical.
Yeah. If you just put a flat edge against it, I mean, you can use a
Mhm.
straight
Like
edge
it.
and tear it too.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So, that kind of reminds me, where is my Christmas journal? Did it not make it over here?
Mine's in my mailbox.
Oh, is
I was
it?
like, yes. I was like, I
Hang
told
on.
Mike
Yeah, it's over here.
we got snow last night, and so I was
Oh,
like, "Do you want to brave going out and get it?" He's like, he goes, "I'll go out
No.
and get it after lunch." I'm like, "It's in the mailbox."
that's funny.
Uh, I had to order two more because I gave the two away that I bought, so I had to order two
Sure
more. So that
hard.
I had wondered about that. I'm like, oh, you're
yeah,
just sharing.
I
Okay.
really wanted to order one and I made myself not because I thought, you've got to do the two you've got sitting here. I thought,
You're
I
going
wanted I wanted it in the
Lord.
worst way, and then I thought, you're just collecting things. You're just collecting things.
Yeah, put it to use.
yeah. Well, we're
Okay.
trying to reach out to one of our daughter-in-laws is not saved, and so I thought this would be a very non-threatening way. We're all
Yeah,
reading the same little short Advent devotional from Nancy
perfect.
to
Yeah.
Walgama, and then each day the idea is to share in a group text what we saw, and then to kind of to do the page, color it, add washi tape, stickers. I gave them little sets of stuff, and then we'll
Oh,
as a family. So
Oh,
just kind
that's
of a
neat.
non-threatening way to, and she's creative, so I thought maybe that'll help. So
is that
I had to
Kenny's
give,
wife?
yeah, Kenny's wife. So I had to give away the two that I had to the ones that live at a distance, and so I had to order two more for Laura and me. So
Oh,
anyway,
I love that
yes, I'm hoping.
idea. You're always finding really creative ways to share with family and kind of just keep that connection. I love it.
Yeah, so we'll see
Okay,
how it goes.
speaking of washi tape and maybe having excess, if you have excess green, if you have not made a Christmas washi tree, a washi Christmas tree, I just started this one and oh, here's one. Look at how cute that is.
Oh, that's really
That
cute.
is cute.
So I often have stuff like this out when I do our holiday open house. So you can see, you just line it
Sure.
up. This one, I kind of started in the middle because I had washi that said beautiful and I wanted to use it. And really, the only trick is like as you're coming down the side, just to tear it at an angle. And I prefer to tear it instead of cut it, just because
Mm-hmm.
it adds that texture to it and
Sure.
it's a little more free form. And
That's really
then
cute.
brown washi tape is really hard to find. But I found this, it was actually on a roll of washi tape that had like repeating color blocks and it had a dark one, but you can use a piece of, scrapbook paper or just use like a fun red or, something like that. It would still look festive.
Mm.
And then
Mm-hmm.
if you have any like really thin glitter washi tape, you could very easily just do like a little garland back and forth across it. See how easy that is?
Oh, how cute. I'm looking up at my washi tape as well. I keep looking up, going, what do I have?
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, see how easy that is? Now, it probably won't stay because the glitter washi tape is a little bit.
Oh
So
yeah.
that would give you an instant illustration on your page like I'm doing, and then you can decide what topic you want to write around it. So
Right.
look at all the washi tape you can use up.
That's
There we
right.
go.
And if we brainstormed, I bet we could come up with other images for different
Sure.
reasons that we could do something similar. So there's your homework. Think
Make
of
cute Christmas
because
cards too.
yeah, because we could use that
Mhm.
in our calendars for next year.
Yeah. Okay.
So since I have it out, I've had people ask me, well, what do you do with your Christmas journal? So I did this one page. It has the bells, and I did believe. And again, I was inspired by washi tape because I had some that had repeating words on it, and one of the words was believe, and it fit right there at the bottom of the bell. So then I decided I was going to just do that whole topic on the page. I pulled out one of my dictionaries and tore out the definition of believe. And that's helpful. It adds texture to the page, but it also gives you some synonyms if you want to look up additional keywords. And yeah, I just did the whole thing that way. And I think this is a word from that same washi tape roll. So that's how I started mine. And I've had some questions about this page. At the last session I have, they're like, Christmas what? And I said, I intentionally made that open-ended because if you're doing a sermon series or Advent, it could be Christmas blessings, Christmas tidings, Christmas memories. Like I think she was going to use hers for memories. Um, so it's just open-ended for a title. And then there's an Advent page in there, and there's an Advent tab at the back of the journal. And so I just colored that in because we might be watching a lot of football and basketball around here. So this is what I do when my guy, I'm like sharing their space, but not necessarily always paying attention. So I will just color some of the elements in here. My idea for this is just to have it free form on things about Advent and about it being that anticipation and waiting for the Lord. I don't have scriptures on it yet, but you got to start somewhere. And then our pastor is doing a series on Advent. And we no longer we don't get printed bulletins at church anymore, but we get an email newsletter that has the bulletin points in it. So prior to going to church, it may be in the wee morning hours on Sunday, or it could be on Saturday. If I've got my act together, I will print out whatever that passage is.
Mm.
And I format it on so that that's like the blank side of the previous page. And so then on the facing page is where I'll do my sermon notes. And I'm going to attempt to like color it ahead of time so it's prepped a little bit, and then I'll do the sermon notes in church and then come back and add some embellishments. So I think I've got it spaced out right. So that would be week 1, week 2, week 3, and week 4, ending there with the candles. If you wanted to have 4 weeks of Advent and use that first one, like if you have a sermon series, you could do that. And then maybe if you have a candlelight service at church and you've got hymns and stuff, you could use that page. And then again, I've just kind of gone through whenever I've had a little bit of time, but maybe not mental focus to decide like what I'm gonna do with it. I've just gone in and I've put some washi tape and colored some of the elements. And then yeah, I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with those trees. But on the back of it, I've got my washi trees. So that's gonna be my little forest section. All the trees. And then I ran across some of these nativity stickers of so I put the wise men in over here, and then I colored the stable. And again, it's because December gets really busy. So I feel like if I can just revisit it and shade in some things, it's kind of helping me along the way. So there's this template in here. It's the mother and child template, but I added this, "Oh, come let us adore him,"
Mm.
on the side. And so what I did the other day, again, I was sorting through some old Christmas photo cards, and this was a greeting card we had received from somebody that says, "Oh, come let us adore him." That has the illustration. And it was a white card. So I pulled out some scrapbook paper that had like all of these, it's like a hymn texture. Glue that on first and then added the card. And then, so then it's going to go well on the sides here. It kind of ties it together when you look at it. So you can use all the little Christmassy stuff that's floating around your house right now.
Mhm.
And again, I just colored this one and added some washi tape. And I think that's about all I've gotten. And occasionally I'll come back here and just remind myself what topics are already on the tabs, maybe color some. And then I've got some cute little stickers just tucked in that pocket. And again, none of us have to feel pressured to do this whole journal this Christmas. Christmas is coming next year. So you can just continue to build on it.
Mhm.
Um, other thoughts on that particular journal? It's the first one that has had an overall theme. So I'm just kind of curious how people are going to use it. I love how Deb's sharing it with her family. And I hope you get some good feedback and ideas on how they're using it.
Yeah, it'll be fun to see.
Mhm. Any other holiday-ish ideas or things you've done in the past that you can maybe display this season?
Oh, yeah.
Here's another example of the bell. I did the good news on that several years ago. And here's another sample of this is called the three trees, but you can use up some of your washi tape on it too if you don't want to write in each of those little blocks. And then the snow globe.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, I like that one.
Again, I had that stamp and it gives you that essence of the nativity scene without having to draw it.
So that was a nativity stamp.
Yes, it's one of those acrylic stamps. I bet you have a stash of those too.
I probably do.
From your scrapbooking days, I bet you.
I know.
Yeah. Yeah.
For stickers,
If,
yeah, probably
if not, Hobby Lobby may just be calling me.
Yeah. What do you want for Christmas? Hobby Lobby card, please. I will put
You
it
can
in
never go wrong with Hobby Lobby.
yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, we've even whenever our college kids have been home, somebody will randomly go, "Oh yeah, I'm going to teach you how to knit this scarf or whatever," and then we're off to Hobby Lobby, and I'm fine, and they're just being goofballs in the aisles of Hobby Lobby. And then there are several of the word for the year templates. And again, Deb and I talked about that a little bit. We don't really have a game plan for ourselves, but they're out there if you get one, if you get an inkling. Okay, and women of the word, my little chunky thing. I just keep, like I said, I didn't have a particular goal for this year. I just keep trucking along. And since last time, I think we went through Abishag, um, last year. Yeah, I think we did Abishag and Queen of Sheba last time. And then we have Jezebel because we can't focus on just all of the holy women. We can learn lessons from the wicked. And I started this on a gray cardstock and used a little acrylic stamp there to put the title in there. And again, if you have any stickers that have just a little, visual of a female figure, it just helps, or it helps me. And then I'm I started this. This is just kind of a generic like widows page, and I tucked it in here because I was doing this page on the widow of Zarephath. Is that how you say that? I'm not too sure. This is one that I had listened to a Bible journaling conference on, and they had some printouts. So I just kind of used some of those and printed out the stickers myself on that. And then this template is one of the original women of the Bible. It's from that trio that I put out several years ago. And just, again, when I'm not sure what I'm doing, I'll just start with coloring the elements. So this is on the Shunammite woman. Deb, you did her a while back, didn't you?
I haven't done her yet. I was just looking. I've done 18, but I haven't done her yet.
Which one did you do? Oh, maybe the Shulamite?
I did the Samaritan woman. The Samaritan woman.
Maybe that's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
And for this one, this is another one where I printed out the whole text passage
Mm,
because sometimes it fits nicely, and then sometimes there are just details in the passage that um, I want to include as a reminder, like when I'm going back and reviewing this, but it's going to take a lot of time and space to handwrite it. So occasionally I'll just print it out that way, and then I can go in and I can highlight. And if you're printing it out, you can even change the text color in it if you want to do that.
mm.
And then Jehoshua, again, I can write all their names. Barely get the pronounced correctly. I believe this was from another Bible journaling conference where I got these embellishments. And then I just finished up this one on Huldah. So there are these very minor characters that I've never heard of, but I thought, well, I'm just going to tuck them in because they're part of the narrative as well. And then I'm working on Esther, which presents its own little challenges because it's a whole book. I'm not going to
Mhm.
like write out the whole thing. And it's also, would you consider like a popular story that we probably all have had a Bible study or a sermon series on it. So this is going to be probably more notes driven than scripture writing. And then I have a little sticky over here. I'm trying to decide if I'm going to do a page or an entry on Queen Vashti. Vashti.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I did a little half page on her,
Did
and
you?
that fascinated me. I've always thought of her as being a problem queen, and yet when you study it, she really was very honorable as a woman. She
Yeah, because
refused
she
to.
was not wanting to put herself out there as an object. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. But so that I learned a lot. So you just a couple verses on her, but yet I learned a lot as I
Yeah.
studied her. Yeah.
Yeah. There are a lot of contrasts, especially if you're like doing one after another. You can have a really heavy story, and the next one is a bit of, just demonstrating how generous you can be, out of very meager circumstances. So again, it's kind of a reflection of each of us. We're all just, so different and have
Mhm.
different strengths and weaknesses. So, and Deb, if I remember correctly, you're kind of taking it from that standpoint of what you're learning about their strengths and their weaknesses and how it's applying to you, right?
Yeah. That's yeah. Are you still working on yours, Chris?
Not so much, but
Okay.
hopefully this year will be better. So are you just continuing with it?
Yes, I'm going to continue. Yeah, it's going to probably take a couple years really to do them all.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to read the Bible through chronologically this year, and as I get to each woman, stop and work on her. Because before I just picked I went by the books that I had,
Mhm.
which was what
Oh, that 12.
yeah,
Yeah.
MacArthur's book and stuff. So I kind of started there with the most common ones, and then I want to go back through and start from the beginning and just kind of work my way through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that I have probably more note pages where when I was reading through the Bible and I would come across a woman, I would start writing
Mhm.
on that. But yes, many.
I like having a place designated for them. So whenever you encounter them, you're like, oh, even if you
Mhm.
don't get around to like writing out and making a pretty page, you can at least put a sticky note in there. Or if
Mhm.
you've jotted down notes, you can insert it in there somewhere and then know, okay, when I get to her, then I can use that information for the
Mhm.
insights. Like if you hear a reference on a podcast or something, it just kind of gives you a home to put those stories.
Good point.
So I'm continuing. I don't know how many I've got left for the Old Testament, um, because it's been a bit of a slog. It's a very ambitious project.
Mhm.
Um, but I think it's going to be interesting getting into the New Testament ones. Because like for the Old Testament, their narratives have been fairly isolated. Like maybe they've been in First or Second Kings, and then again mentioned in Chronicles, but Chronicles doesn't necessarily add a whole lot, to it. But when you get into the Gospels, you've got a woman that's mentioned, in four places, and just kind of a different perspective of her story. So I think that's going to have its own little challenge for me at least.
Mhm.
Deb, you've done a couple of New Testament ones.
Mhm.
How did
Yeah.
you tackle that?
I start with taking all my notes, like Chris says she does her notes. I do my notes and I kind of organize them, and then I kind of see what the Lord's telling me and teaching me.
Okay.
Like for Esther, I ended up doing Esther. All was around the influence she had, who influenced her, and then because of their
Mhm.
influence, she was able to influence others. So I kind of let the Lord teach me what the page should be about. That's kind of how I look at it.
Love
Yeah.
that.
Mhm.
That's what I do with the New Testament ones too, because they're all over, and usually some of them are too are in Hebrews. It just depends on where else they're mentioned. Yeah,
Yeah.
Mhm.
yeah, good.
Liz, are you getting some inspiration?
Oh, kind of. Oh, I just need to just try a page.
Hmm.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes, you did. Let's vote.
yep. Just try.
Mhm.
Yep.
When I come back next month, I'll try to have the page done.
There you go.
Yeah. We'll start with show and tell. I love it.
Yeah.
Okay. I have mentioned this a little bit, but I haven't like really launched it. So I'm going to give you a little teaser here. Years ago, my sister-in-law and I started Bible quilting like through the whole Bible. And we took a big, like oversized spiral. Like I'm not even sure what size this is. And we punched out a bunch of tabs. We used our little label makers to put their names on. And then we opened it up and we just kind of guesstimated, well, how many pages for Genesis, how many for Psalms, and all of that. And we just went to town on it. So I have actually done um, the whole Old Testament that way.
Oh my
We
word.
have made a title and like it's not verbatim, it's not every word, but it's like to get enough of the story on there.
So
And
like an overview of the book.
yes, of the whole book. So like here's Genesis, and it's teeny tiny. I can write really small. So yeah, I just use stickers for the title and just um like I do like little bubbles for the themes and do blocks around the names. And like over here, I changed the color palette for Joseph. And sometimes I will even attempt to draw little things like the ark and like this is like the days of creation. So ever since I've done this, I've wanted to be able to share with you guys some templates to kind of provide you with that structure. So I have a set of Old Testament templates and New Testament templates that are in the shop. And I've been working with I've got a graphics girl at my printers, and so she helps me make it all pretty. So I don't have these printed at home yet or like in a set. But so I've made a title for the whole thing and I just decided to call it Journaling Through the Word. Um, because Bible quilting through the Bible is too many Bibles. And journaling through the word, you can call it like the journaling through the word Bible quilt. I'm just
Hmm.
yeah.
Hmm.
I
Um,
like that name. I
so,
think it's
so
good.
and that's what we're doing, right? We're journaling through it
Yeah,
and we're using the Bible quilt technique. So that's a way to kind of break it down. So I've got an overall title, and then I've got one for the Old Testament, and then I have one for the New Testament.
that's
And
gorgeous.
at this point, I am just going to leave it out there in two sections. So if somebody is like reading through the Bible chronologically through the year and they want to start with the Old Testament, they can kind of get started with that. And the templates themselves are fairly generic. There's a title at the top, and then like back when we started this, I used a circle stencil and I left a circle for each book. So I could write in the author, the date it was written, maybe the audience. But I'm still undecided exactly how I want to do that. But on the template sets, I've left the same circle. And it may be that I go through and I stamp all of that. And people might have other ideas how they want to use that. You may just like pick a theme verse like for that book. Um, you know me, I have lots of ideas. I'm just gonna
That's
throw
a
it
great idea.
and you
Will
guys
you,
decide what to do.
Diana, will you have those available for somebody that has a lousy printer like me that I don't want to print them all out? Will you have some?
I'm considering that. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't have it quite into action mode yet.
Yeah, that's fine.
And if I do it, I would do it like I did the Women of the Word packets.
Hmm.
They're not bound.
Right.
People can decide that they can slide those into like page protectors and do it
Sure.
like as a three-ring binder, or if they want to
Or
do
punch them or whatever. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
with the three hole or the 11. Um,
Hmm.
so they can kind of like dovetail if you're doing the women and you're also doing summary pages for the book. And that's why I decided, well, I don't want to like finish all of the women and then throw this out. I'm going to just start. I've
Mm-hmm.
been doing it all along anyway. Um, and at one point, I thought that I would come up with a whole set of tabs, and I thought, no, I'm not going to like repeat something that's already available just because, like on Amazon or Etsy, you can find
Oh,
the Bible.
Bible, yeah, tabs, all kinds of them. Yeah.
So I've got this printed out. This is what the templates are going to look like. And you can just go through and add those little, and it didn't take very long at all to put those tabs. And this particular set, it even has like a little summary theme, like Hosea is about God's unfailing love, and Daniel, uncompromising faith. And I think I put the link for those in the Facebook group the other day. So, like I said, I didn't want to like throw it all out there and not have it all ready, but I wanted to like mention it so you can be thinking about it. And the way I'm doing it, since I printed out at home, I printed this out and then I went into the Bible Project. They have these posters.
Isn't that awesome? That is a neat
It's
website.
awesome.
Yeah.
And because it's 8.5 by 11, some of this is very teeny tiny, but it at least gives me an overview of what their summary is. And the way it prints, I can add additional information there. So,
Oh, yeah. Are those available to print?
mhm. Yeah, on there, if you go to the Bible Project, they have the video and then they call it a poster.
Okay.
And
Okay.
you
Because
can,
my daughter has a coffee table book of all those, and it's out of print because I used to sit there and like pause it and try
um,
to draw it and try to like
yes,
repeat.
yeah, yeah. Um, so that's what I'm going to do because I'm going to look at those videos, more than once. So now that I have it printed out and I listen to it, I can kind of follow along. And so even if some of the print is so teeny tiny, I can't read what it's on there, you still get kind of the overall
You have
gestalt.
an idea of what's, yeah.
Yeah.
So, how many pages are you allotting per book?
Well, that's why I'm doing it in a disc.
Oh, there, because you can just add
Yeah.
whatever you
So
need.
I can continue to add.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea
If
rather
you
than
want to
have it bound.
eventually bind it, you can keep all your pages like in page
Hmm.
protectors
Mm-hmm.
in a binder folder if you want. But I'm gradually going to incorporate some of the templates that we already have. Like
Mm-hmm.
this is one I did a while back, and I wasn't going to do it again, so I just color copied it, and I'm inserting it in here, so I'll have that storyline.
Yeah.
And then yeah, and then there's also like Joseph's coat of many colors, and then of course I have a little note there. And like Exodus, I have this little insert from a book I had a long time ago. So again, kind of like the Women of the Word journal, it gives you a home if you've listened to a podcast or a sermon series on that particular book of the Bible. And where's something else I was going to show you? Yeah, so a couple of summers ago, our small group did a book on Hosea. So because I had already done in my big Bible quilt a summary page on Hosea, I color copied it and I put it in here just to kind of remind me of that. And then I've done a summary like note page on Hosea, the book, and then on Hosea, the prophet, and then on Gomer. Then this is actually the color copy of the Gomer page that I'm going to have in my Women of the Word. So you don't necessarily have to do that, but it helps me remember, oh yeah, I've already done her page.
Mm-hmm.
And because I've spent time, with her summarizing her story, it's also helpful to have that in the journaling through the word as a reminder. And then because of this a slick little disc system. You can also go back, like this is the notes journal that this goes back to 2021 that we did a sermon series at church on Hosea. So this page is just sitting over there in my Bible quilt notes, but because it's focused on Hosea, I thought, well, I'm just going to go ahead and tear it out of that journal, hole punch it, and put it in here so that whenever I'm studying that book of the Bible, it's all together. So in some ways, it's taking all these bits and pieces of notes, from over the years and putting them in a resource where then you can find it.
How was that different than that thing you just showed, your big Bible quilt journal that you
This
mentioned? What is that one?
So this is strictly where I have used the Bible quilting technique to summarize each book of the Bible. This is just scripture. This
Okay.
over here has more notes. It also has scripture verses in it, but it's more note taking and like digging into the storylines and like cross-referencing from other passages. But this one
Okay.
here is just strictly verses from the Bible.
Okay. Oh, my head is spinning.
I
It's
know.
like you want to do it. Don't you just like want to try it all? And it's
I
like,
know.
but I'm like, whoa.
If you saw my little stack over here, you would see that.
Oh my Lord. Okay.
In the last couple of years, when people that were really like into the monthly journal and we were doing topics together,
Yeah.
that's why I had a hard time saying yes to doing another one because it was taking time away from these longer term projects that I've been working on the side. But I like to with one of these big ideas that's very ambitious, and it takes a while. I kind of want to sit in it and work on it some myself and then gradually figure out, okay, now if I was going to share this with somebody, they're going to ask me this, and how are you going to, so I've got to get some of that behind me before I can share it. So I've got bits and pieces of it out there on the online shop digitally, and I think maybe after the holidays, I'll work with my graphics person and come up with a way and probably just, start with it'd probably be the same template set that's already in there and get it into some of those packets because I realize that um, it's a hardship on our home printers to print out that much.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be great. And if, yeah.
So I have a personal devotional time question for you ladies, and then how you incorporate that with Bible quilt journaling. Do you do, morning devotions and read your Bible and do whatever, and then find another time during the day to do your Bible quilt journaling, or do you do it all at the same time? Do you have some type of routine or system, for a lack of a better word?
That's a great question. I'm going to throw it out to these other ladies.
I do it both ways. I have a devotional that I do, or if I'm doing my Sunday school lesson, whatever it might be that I'm preparing. And then sometimes I do it together, but probably more often than not, I do it separately because I spread out. I have stuff everywhere, and I just kind of take my
And then
time.
do you designate a certain amount of time each day that you're working on your Bible quilt journal, or just once a week, or whenever you find time?
It's kind of whenever I can find time. I
Okay.
try to do it daily,
Okay.
but I don't always get to. I do read my Bible every day, but I don't always get
Right.
Bible quilting.
Right.
I usually end up with a bulk of time during the week sometime that I can sit and work because I
Okay.
got to get it all spread out and organized. I
Yeah.
can't keep it up. And
Yeah.
then by the time I do that, the time might be up. So I kind of have a block of time, that I work.
And mine's probably more this year. I need to just skip this year because this year with family issues that I've been very absent from Bible quilting. But before I made it a separate but apart. So like I would have my Bible time and whatever else I was doing in devotions. And then I would do Bible quilting for a period of time before I start work because I still work full time. So before I would start work. And then my calendar that I do, and that's the only thing I kind of kept up this year, was I would just do that sometime before the start of the month.
Of the next month. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
And that would just kind of be a whenever. Now, when I did start the Women of the Bible, that never really got to an actual journal page, was I got the notes that go with the Happy Punch paper. And so when I was doing my Bible time, I would write notes on a particular woman I would come across, just so I didn't have to go back later and do that.
Okay. Thanks.
So yeah, it's kind of bits and pieces. And at this point, for me, it's like different flavors of Bible quilting. Like Chris mentioned with the calendar, there's just kind of that gentle nudge. Oh, a new month is coming. I'm gonna, knock out, the next month. So I have that little blank spot on my wall as where it hangs. For the women of the word, that's a little more of a cognitive activity for me. So, like Deb, you have to have your resources out, and you're like,
Right.
I'm in a type of thing. But I've done this long enough now that I kind of know where I want to put things whenever I'm inspired to do so. Like if I'm listening to a podcast when I'm out on a walk. I'll just spend that time with the Lord in prayer and come back in and go, okay, I just want to make a page, just a free floating page in my original Bible quilt. Or I will intentionally be listening to something about one of the women of the Bible. And then that's it just helps me percolate on her story while I'm out being active. And then I come back in and pull out that particular journal. And then sometimes it's whatever Bible study I'm in. If it's meeting Wednesday morning, then Tuesday I'm just kind of going through that. And then usually there's a way that I'm tying that into a Bible quilt page of some sort. It's a summary page, or it's like a verse on a particular topic that I'll go back and add to that, because I have a lot of unfinished pages, and it'll just kind of trigger, oh, I'm going to add this verse over there.
Sure. Okay.
But I realize
I'm struggling a little bit with setting aside time. It's not that I don't have time, it's just making it a priority.
Yeah.
And then, we're in two different or three different Bible studies at church. We're studying Proverbs right now. So then it's like, oh, should I be writing that down somewhere for something I want to journal at some point somewhere? Yeah. And just trying to keep it all somewhat organized, or kind of a routine or a system or something, I guess. Instead of it all willy-nilly everywhere.
Yeah, I think you'll find your own rhythm, what works for you. And
I think you're right. Yeah. Once I get started, right?
Yeah.
Yep. Gotta get started.
Even like if you're doing a study on Proverbs, there's just a lot of verses on wisdom. So maybe you designate one of your pages on wisdom. And as you're studying that material, you just add a verse, each time you're coming back to that study, and let it build over time, and not have the pressure of, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to do a whole page.
Right. That's a good idea. Okay, thanks.
Sure. Great question. Well, anything else? Any show and tell? Any kind of insight on how you're gonna approach getting through the holidays and getting into your goals for next year? All the things.
I'm just taking one day at a time.
There you go. Yep.
Yeah, I told my husband last night that if he had asked me the day before how I was going to spend yesterday, other than one appointment that I had, it was like totally just by the seat of my pants getting through it. So that's kind of how the holidays are. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I don't even, have anything on the calendar yet in terms of events. I may just go ahead and continue this at the same time and do my monthly in person, and I'll start unfolding that journaling through the word project a little bit at a time. And I don't think I'm going to necessarily put it out there for somebody to do it in order because like you mentioned, Liz, you're going to be in a Bible study on Proverbs. So it makes the most sense for you if you want to do a summary Bible quilt page on
Mhm.
to jump in that and not feel like, oh no, I should be in Leviticus right now.
Right,
Mhm.
right,
Yeah, do what's applicable to whatever
exactly.
in your life right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Do any of you have specific Bible reading plans or goals for 26? You know, I think Deb, you mentioned you're going to do chronological. Um, yeah, because my husband and I have done the Bible recap a few
Mhm.
years, and I don't know if we'll do that again. You know, and that's chronological also, but we've also got a chronological Bible, life application chronological Bible, and I was thinking about digging that one back out.
Mhm.
But do you have any thoughts or?
I'm working through, I've done just chronological and I've done Bible project before, but I'm going slower right now. Still going chronologically, but no, it'll probably be more of a 2-3 year process.
Uh-huh.
And I'm using a literary Bible that kind of gives just different commentary before each chapter that puts it more in a like the literary style and different things. So it's just a different. I've had the
Sure.
Bible for a long time and never really used it. And so it's just been interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just what I'm going to continue doing.
And I haven't quite decided because where I'm at with the women of the word, I might be like getting over into the New Testament. So I don't necessarily want my brain to be focused on
Mm-hmm.
as New Testament characters.
Right,
And
right.
like any chronological starting with the Old Testament. So I'm undecided at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great questions. Great questions today. Well, it was great getting you all together. Liz, if you don't know, Deb and Kristen are in real life friends. So
I'm jealous.
I always feel like it's a win when I get them here. And Chris and I have been real life friends. We used to live in Kansas together, and she's the one that introduced Deb to Bible quilting. So
Oh,
anytime I get them
neat.
together, it's just
Yeah. Wonderful.
fun.
When you have your open houses, what day of is that Thursdays? The
And
last
well,
the
the
last
the
Thursday?
in-person, yeah, the in-person sessions I do monthly, and it's typically on Thursdays. Just because that works pretty well for our family. If we're traveling, Friday is out the window. But for the open house, the holiday one, I usually do that the first Saturday of December.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
kind of.
might try to pop in. We're going to be down that way in April. I don't know if it's going to work out, but if you have an in-person, like on a Thursday, I'd love to stop in. But
Yes.
I don't know exactly where we're
And
going
if
to
I
be
don't
or what
have
day of
one
the week. But
scheduled, just send me an email and I can maybe drum up some people and we'll just make up one.
oh,
It'd be fun.
yeah.
The,
I mean,
the
we're going
one
to not be
time,
in Tulsa necessarily, but not
yeah,
that we're going to Arkansas. So I'm like, how far is Tulsa from Arkansas?
Yeah,
the
it
one
depends on
time
how
we
deep
were
you are into
actually
Arkansas.
driving through Tulsa, I texted Diana. I'm like, I can actually come see your little shop and do all this. And you were in Italy or Ireland or someplace. I'm like,
I was
no,
like,
what do you?
yes. Yeah.
Okay. So anyway, that's something I'm
Yeah.
looking forward to possibly next spring.
Sure.
Sounds good. All right. Well, I hope you all have a lovely Christmas season and
Yes, you too.
Yeah.
with all of this, just embrace it because it's a way of being in the Word in a creative way, and don't feel pressure about it.
Yep. Go get my mailbox goodies.
Yeah, yeah.
You've been
Get your
you,
boots,
you
coat
bundle
on.
up, you get out there, girl.
That's right.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.